I would like to start this video with a question to make you trigger your mind. What kind of learner are you? Do you need to first read a lot before you actually practice something? Do you need to see something only one time and you're already confident in trying it? Do you need a lot of practice before you can actually say that you are able to do something? How long it took for you to specialize in that something that you are well in doing it? And in that something, have you asked yourself, who are you in first place? What are your goals and perceptions? What makes you to go to bed every night? What annoys you and what do you want to become? Have you established goals in your life? Are they short-term goals, long-term goals? Where do you see yourself? What do you want from yourself? What are your values? How is your behavior affecting others? I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I have asked a lot of questions, but I had to point on a focus that is important over here, and that is the key component that I want to talk about, and that point is actually you. We often relate ourselves to others, and that is completely fine. I also do that. But what I do mostly is what I'm focused on is exploring the developmental background of people that I admire, people I relate, or simply people that I want to know about. Now, many of you know the story about Benjamin Franklin, who actually took the learning experience on his own. He was working with others who had experience to understand complex topics like Italian language, meteorology, Gulf streams, etc., etc. It's pretty impressive. Most of you also know the story about Tiger Woods, the very famous golf player, and the fact that he was actually practicing golf his entire life since he was a baby. And that is also something that we are all being admired by. On the other hand, we have another story from also from a sports person or from a sports player. It's the story of Roger Federer, the world's famous tennis player who had practiced a lot of other sports before he actually go into tennis and play tennis. So he has not been practicing tennis all his life, yet just like Tiger Woods in his own field, he became best in the world in that something, which was playing tennis, that he was doing. Now, have you asked yourself, why is that? Let me also take another example. I will also take myself. I never studied customer service. I never studied customer service in high school. I never studied customer service during my bachelor degree, yet I become a cabin crew for the best airline in the world, for Qatar Airways. Of course, I was not the best cabin crew, as in our job, we don't identify and classify ourselves as the best cabin crew. We are winning a category which is called best cabin crew in the world or best airline in the world. And this is something that we as individuals can relate and identify with. Have you asked yourself, why some people don't have customer service experience, have totally different background, have no background at all, but they are simply part of winning teams? Why is that? Now, let me also tell you something. All of you watching this video, you're all great in something, and if you turn a bit backwards, you may perhaps see yourself as part of something called kind learning environment, where steps and goals have been very clear to you, rules have been very clear to you, you have not experienced much of changes, you have been getting feedback on a regular basis, and you have been able to have something called as a sustainability in the field where you are specialized in. Many of you will also find themselves in something totally different, which I'll call it the wicked working environment, where steps and goals have not been clear to you, rules have been changing, you may get feedback or you may not get feedback, and perhaps your years of work and study did not have consistency. I can definitely relate to that wicked work environment. Now let me ask you, which world do you think we're living nowadays? As you know, we as humans, we have a natural need to thin up or to be with those adaptable manners and to keep a track of the interconnecting parts, and that is something which is fundamentally changing our perception. I think that all of us, you watching this video and myself, we will all agree that now more than ever, we live in a wicked world where rules are changing all the times. Things have changed and are changing all the times. And for instance, just check where we're living right now. COVID-19 has changed our lives totally and completely. My sincere advice over here would be to ask you to think wisely. What do you want for yourself? Do you want to be specialized in one or two things and then be able to see the world from those few lenses or those few mental models that you're going to develop? Or you want to become a bright person with a wide range of interests? If we take a look at the cabin crew team of, let's say, Qatar Airways, Emirates Airlines, Etihad Airways, for example, you won't see only people or individuals that have only customer service experience or only previous flying experience, but you will see a team of individuals that have previously worked in different fields or areas of interest, and those individuals actually have merged themselves from those different domains, fields, and interests into the cabin crew role. They have given a chances, they've passed through the selection process, etc., etc. And if we go back to what do the passengers expect from the cabin crew on board the aircraft, you will clearly see that they don't expect only the great customer service or the great service standards, the beautiful faces that we see on the commercials, etc., etc. Passengers expect a lot of assistance, a lot of care, a lot of understandings. Passengers also expect love. You will be surprised, but yes, there are instances when they expect to be understood. When it comes to emotions, we spoke about emotional intelligence. Now, what is great customer service is different for every passenger. You need to understand that we read the definition for great customer service, but passengers don't read the definitions to establish their expectations when they come on board. They do not even know what is going to be happening on board and at what point the crew members will have a chance to impress them with that excellent customer service that we talk about over here. But believe me, passengers have totally different perception and expectations of it. Now I will share an example. I was a passenger on a flight, on a Turkish Airlines flight, and I was flying from Istanbul to Skopje. I was seated at the front row seat, and there was a passenger opposite me who was seated and who was very angry on the flight. He was asking for a couple of extra things. I was observing it. Of course, I'm a cabin crew, and what do? I observe how the cabin crew behaves with the passengers. That's their service standards. That's how they serve the passengers. Maybe the passenger was over asking. I don't want to be judgmental. What kind of service standards have the airlines? The bottom line is that the passenger was very angry. He had no clue that I'm actually a cabin crew for Qatar Airways. What happened was the aircraft landed. In that moment when the aircraft landed, his telephone, his mobile phone, slightly slipped from his pocket, went on the floor and went straight away to the business class. We were seated at the front row seats of economy class. My natural instinct of helping people, assisting people, just was waken. I totally forgot that I have my seatbelt on, that I'm supposed to wait until the seatbelt sign goes off and then stand up from my seat. I quickly released myself and I went forward. I took the phone. It was somewhere mid in the business class. By the time the cabin crew at the front reacted, I was already back on my seat. I gave him the phone and I've got an answer back from him, and he said, "This is how the cabin crew should be on this flight. You're waiting for so long for people to assist you and to help you, and now you stood up from your seat and you gave me the phone without me asking you." And then we established the communication, and then we talked a little bit until the aircraft finally stopped at the gate. And what I'm trying to say over here, the natural instinct for help, for assistance, not necessarily has to be something that you're supposed to perform it in your private life, yet your desire to love, care, and help people will be observed over here. And you don't have to be a cabin crew to carry that within yourself. You just have to be an individual who actually is there to love and care for people in the most natural way possible. That is something that is going to be viewed and observed during your open day, assessment day, and your final interview. And that is determined by the skills that you have gained. Wide range of skills rather than just being specialized in that one or two things. Why I'm saying this? Few days ago, there was a candidate who contacted me and asked me for an opinion. He wants to specialize in a field which is not the cabin crew field, rather than it's a subject called sociology, and he asked my opinion. This is the time when I was researching and thinking about this subject. You don't have to stick in within the customer service industry and learn about customer service everything in order to get the job. You will be surprised. There are individuals who are specialized in customer service and they know so much about customer service, and their answers are all about meeting the expectations, going beyond the expectations, and they do not get the job. This is not what the recruiters are looking for, simply. Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew teams of the airlines, or the successful airlines, are actually a team of individuals that have been recruited based on a very important skill that nobody has told you about, and that skill is called an ability to match a strategy into type of a problem. That's why you have been given all those scenarios during your open day, assessment day, and final interview to show that ability that you possess a strategy to anticipate and to work on a certain problem. Not necessarily has to be the right strategy, but you should be applying a thinking process. Now, what is important is whether you are picking the cabin crew career, your course of study, or you're just wanting to learn something new, you should be thinking of something called, do you want a long-term development for yourself or not? Now, there are many ways to be successful, whether you choose the Tiger Woods way that we talked about, whether you choose the Roger Federer way and practice a lot of things before. I don't think that the Tiger Woods is the right way, or the Roger Federer is the right way. I think that in this wicked world that we all live in, we need to identify and check. That's why at the beginning of this video, I have asked you to check things about yourself. Who are you? What makes you happy? What do you want for yourself? Are you a type of person that has a certain temper? What calms you down and stuff like that? And then choose what is going to inspire you and how you're going to move forward in this wicked world that I talked about. And I hope that with this video I have helped you to discover and waken up a lot of desires in you, and also hopefully help and ease that decision-making process of where you should specialize and what you should specialize in, with a hope that aviation is going to recover soon. I'm committed over here on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram account, Xcrew and Xcrew, to stay together with you and to talk on subjects like this, similar, and a lot others. Therefore, do not leave my YouTube channel without clicking subscribe, hitting the notification button, and I'm gonna be seeing you very soon. Bye bye and have a nice day.